Hello everybody, today we, Adel, Yulia, Madina and Arlen are going to talk about climate change in Kyrgyzstan. Making peace with the nature is a defining challenge of the 21st century. It should be the highest top priority for everyone and everywhere. Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations.
Climate and weather. In the morning we leave in the house, think how to dress and try to feel air temperature and strength of wind. So when we think about the weather, we think about state of atmosphere in a short period, in a short time. And weather can quickly change and be different in individual parts of the city. So weather is the state of the atmosphere over a particular area at a particular point in time.
When planning a trip to another country, we inquire about the average climatic characteristics about this territory. That is, speaking of climate, we are considering a fairly large territory and weather characteristics over a long period of time. The difference between climate and weather is usually summarized by the popular phrase, climate is what you expect, weather is what you get.
The climate in Kyrgyzstan. Kyrgyzstan's climate is characterized as continental, semi-arid and arid because Kyrgyzstan is located far from the oceans and adjacent to deserts. The daily average maximum in winter can reach to 3 degrees Celsius. Usually, Kyrgyzstan's weather is mild in spring with really hot days occurring in May and June. The daily maximum temperature is 31 degrees Celsius. However, it can also reach 45 degrees during the summer.
Climate change. As scientists all over the world have established, the climate on planet is changing and especially intensively in the last 20 years. Naturally, the climate is a part of the large system called Earth, and its changes are caused by both natural causes and human activity. So, climate change is a deviation of weather parameters from long-term values for a long-term period. This takes into account changes in average values of weather parameters and the frequency of extreme weather events.
Long-term view. During its existence, the Earth changed periods of glaciation and warming. We are now between ice ages right now. We are here.
Climate change in Kyrgyzstan. Over the observation period, approximately 90 years, the temperature in Kyrgyzstan increased by 1.6 degrees Celsius. And the world trend is 0.6 degrees Celsius. Expected for the next 50 years an increase in annual air temperature up to 1.9 degrees Celsius. The amount of precipitation has changed little, but their distribution by season and within the regions of the country has changed. Precipitation is expected to decrease.
Changes happen due to changes in sun's activity, in the Earth's orbit, in the cloud cover, in ice sheets, in the gases in the atmosphere, and volcanic eruptions, and the last one is atmospheric oscillations.
So, in general, human and natural causes for climate change are change in ocean, change in atmosphere, lithosphere, cryosphere. Also, this is a solar activity and human influence, and etc.
Solar energy reaches the Earth's atmosphere and part of it rejected back into space. The rest of the solar energy is absorbed by land and oceans, hitting the surface planets. The Earth gives back this energy in the form of thermal radiation. Some of this heat is trapped in the atmosphere by greenhouse gases, keeping on Earth the temperature needed to sustain life. Human activity leads to an increase in greenhouse gas emissions into the atmosphere. It traps extra heat that causes the Earth's temperature to rise.
Since the beginning of the era of industrialization in the 19th century, the content of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increased by 40%, methane by 120%, and nitric oxide by 20%. At this from 2000 to 2010, emissions grew faster than in each of the three previous decades. The level of greenhouse gas emissions in Kyrgyzstan is relatively low. This is largely due to the prevalence of hydroelectric power plants, which provide about 90% of the total electricity production in Kyrgyzstan. About 95% of all carbon dioxide emissions in Kyrgyzstan come from energy sector, and 63% of methane mainly come from agriculture.
Climate impact. Over a 70-year period, the area of glaciations in Kyrgyzstan had decreased by 16%. Rising temperatures and melting glaciers lead to an increase the risk of deterioration in health of both groups, people and plants, etc.
What can we do? Mankind is fighting climate change and is trying to adapt to it through various actions, but already now we as scholars can contribute to the struggle. What can we do on our own? First, save energy. We insulate windows, we use saving energy light bulbs, we do not close radiators, and we use air conditioners less often, and etc.
What we can do? We can plant the tree and caring for them.
Cleaning and sorting garbage.
Help the elderly and the disabled.
Fifth, saving water and cleaning water bodies.
Learning to provide first aid in emergencies.
Thank you for your attention.